All right, welcome to Breaking MedTech. I am Ryan. This is Cope. His real name is Mark. I cannot call him that.
No.
We discuss real challenges, strategies, and innovations in medtech sales and marketing. We're going to speak candidly and hopefully give you some insights and practical advice to help small medtech companies and startups navigate sales and marketing, because it's a constantly evolving industry. But it's very different than where it was about 5 or 10 years ago. But it's still way behind where it should be.
Yep, you and I have seen major changes, but we've also seen some things stay the same. And I'm going to actually name a company with what I think is probably a pretty cool product for a company that we know.
Mm-hmm.
I saw on LinkedIn the other day an ad by Zimmer Biomet, a world-renowned leader in orthopedics, for their new piece of equipment. It's basically like a jackhammer, right? It's called the Hammer,
Yeah.
HAMMR. Cool name, whatever. I think it's H8. I think
it's
HAMMR.
HAMMR. Yeah,
That's fine. Whatever. I don't know why you don't need the E.
it's probably trademarked.
Right. So there you go. So trademark, so you got to pull the E out of it. So, but I saw their ad, and their ad is beautifully shot. Lots of money spent on it. Really kind of cool. The only thing it was missing was an electric guitar in the background. But it was, check out the product. It would like rotate at 360 degrees, then really go fast, and then go up and show like the gleam, like the sunrise is coming up over the handle of the hammer. And it's all product based. And it's very well shot. It's very well directed. I'm certain it costs a lot of money, and I don't think it'll sell one hammer on the planet.
Absolutely. I don't think it's good. Like, someone's not going to watch that video.
What do they call those videos? Like, there's a term for them. I'm trying to think. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, they call them like.
What is it? It's like.
Yeah, it's like it's like sexy video. You know
That's what we'll call it for.
Yeah, let's call it sexy video.
We'll call it sexy video.
Right, and it was well done. But I'm sitting there going like, that's going to help with awareness that it exists.
That's you know what there where
Right?
that would be, where that video is really cool to see at Zimmer Biomet's trade show, and they're like $500,000 booth
Right.
on a giant screen next to a kiosk where you can actually touch it and hold it.
Yeah.
And look at it, and you're like, oh, it says ergonomically designed.
Right. And so it must be, because it says it. So now look, is Zimmer Biomet dumb for buying that?
Nope.
No. Right. Because then they post that on their thing at the meeting up on the big screen. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, they're the ones. I should go check that out.
Mm-hmm.
It looked cool. But I see every med device company doing this, big, small. And I would say that's a nice to have, but that is not, like, if you're on a limited budget and you do that. I was looking at it, and all it did was say like ergonomics, RPMs per blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it doesn't even tell the surgeon how he or she benefits. It doesn't even do that. It just is like, look at me. I'm the hammer, right?
It had that cool like see-through shot of it, like
Yeah.
pistoning inside.
It looks like it's rotating around the earth at 186 miles per hour, whatever it is satellites do going around. Like, that's what it looked like, a satellite shot of it. But if you're a small med device company and somebody walks in and says, hey, you should sell your product, and we'll do I forget what the heck they call those, glamour videos or something.
Yeah.
Like, I forget what it is. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste. And I've seen every company do it because they just look at the big companies. And this is a point Ryan and I have talked about another. You're not a big company. You're not even a small version of a big company. You are a different entity. Steve Blank says it best, and he's an expert on this. Small startups are not miniaturized, shrinky-dinked versions of big companies. They're a completely different thing. Just like a baby isn't the same thing as a 38-year-old man.
What?
I'm told. They're not the same thing. They require a different set of skills, different ways to be taken care of. And some of them have a little bit more of a risk that if they don't do something right, there's a problem. And it's the baby, it's the startup. And if you're a startup, please, you can hang up or delete this after. please do not spend money on those types of videos.
Yeah.
Please don't do it.
And like, yeah, because if I was a product marketer at Zimmer Biomet, right? I'm in charge. Like, it's almost like, hey, we're launching Hammer, we're launching a new product. All right, what do we have to do? It'd be like my basic checklist. I'd be like, well, you got to get a cool 3D video that we at least spend 25 to 50 grand on. It's gotta be awesome. We're gonna spend about 6 months making this thing, have 15 meetings on it. But it's gonna look cool in our booth. And I'm not like, it does look cool. I'm not saying
it looks really cool.
It's not that it isn't a really cool, well produced video. It's just that if what happens is then, or what I hear or what you hear is then I'm talking to somebody from like a small company. And they're like, you know what would be really awesome why don't you know that Hammer video from Zimmer? Can we make that for our product? And then
it's not a waste of time, but it's a bad prioritization of your money, right?
Bad prioritization of
and if you think it's a waste of time, feel free.
No, I think it's it doesn't. Zimmer Biomet is not looking at that going like, this bad boy is going to sell us 100,000. This video alone is going to move 100,000 units. They're going, hey, this is part of the entire experience of Hammer, and this is what we're doing, and this is how, like, this is part of the budget. The marketing budget for Hammer requires a 30 to 60 second fire promo video that is going to just, like, guitar. Yeah, you should have a guitar playing. Slash is there.
Smoke. Listen, fellas, smoke is not in the budget on this one. Sorry. Oh, man.
Like,
lasers?
Cats with laser beams. So you can do it if you're Zimmer Biomet. You can do it if you're Medtronic. You can do it for any of those companies. It doesn't matter. It's not going to make a difference. It's not like anybody's losing their job because of that video. It's just part of their like starter package of like, we're launching a new product. We need a product video. We need a landing page.
We need how to.
We need how to.
Blah, blah, right.
Like it's everything that's going on. The issue is when you're a small med tech company and you're like, hey, I need to make that kind of video. You're going to do one of two things. You're either going to go somehow get the money to spend that, to make that video, which is like, what? And we can go into the math about that, or you're going to try to like do it yourself, or go like, well, I found a person on Fiverr who said they could make something kind of like that. And like, I've shopped different types of animation videos.
Mm-hmm.
There is a big difference. Like, I will say, I'm gonna shout out to all the animators that are listening to this. There's none. There's like, it's worthwhile when you're like, that animation, like, I'm just talking like quality of animation.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, and you get what you pay for when it comes to animation. So if you're like, hey, I found somebody who could do this for $250 and it's going to look like that, that's a scam. That's called that. Like, that's not. So like, and if you go in, and my problem would be like, if you go and spend the $50,000 or the, let me give you a break. It's let's say it's $25,000. If you're going to go spend the $25,000 to make that video, or even the $10,000, if that video costs you $10,000, what's your ROI on it? Because the fundamental problem about that video is not that it doesn't look good or that you spent $10,000 on it. It's that it's not going to drive you any leads, which then is going to lead to an ROI. And that's my ultimate problem.
And how are you going to use it?
Yeah.
Right. And so,
is it once? Or are you just going to use it once?
Am I using it as the salesperson to send to a potential customer, say, hey, here's the product, check it out. It's 37 seconds of lasers and right. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But if your salespeople aren't thrilled with it, I just don't think it's going to help you get the return on investment that you're talking about, right? So if you had that budget and you're, or let's say half that budget and you're a med device company, startup, what would you prioritize? Well, if you did a video.
With videos?
Let's just say video.
Okay.
What would you do?
How much money do I have?
What did you say that thing was? $10,000?
Let's say at a minimum it was $10,000.
Okay, so let's say you have 5, right?
What would I do?
Or no, let's say you have 10.
Okay.
But what would you do as opposed to that? Because I don't
I'd
think
make a lot of videos.
you'd make a lot
I would get a
of what?
I'd like make a lot of marketing videos, and not all of them would be product focused, but like I would go buy a camera.
Isn't that a marketing video? Like, how
It
would you
is.
different? Okay, so you said I would make a lot of marketing videos, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a marketing.
That
video.
is a marketing.
You're saying different types.
Yeah,
of
different
marketing.
types of marketing videos.
Okay. Yeah.
I would go buy a camera.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you like iPhone,
Right.
non-iPhone.
You could use your phone.
You could
for
use
a
your
lot,
phone.
couldn't
You could use your phone for a lot, and like from like user-generated content, they're typically shot like that. Right, you're looking at it, and that's just a certain style that's popular
Mhm.
right now. So like you could do user-generated content. You could use your phone, but like if I was gonna go spend that amount of money on that, I'd probably go to like B&H Audio,
Okay.
which is like it's just go type in like camera and B&H is going to show up.
Yeah.
They're very good. They're based out of New York, and why I say they're really good is because like they're the people that help you
Yeah.
like go buy a camera. I would go buy a camera. I'd go buy a mic. I'd buy a tripod. I'd have
And that's going to cost you total.
probably about 1,000 to 1,200.
Okay.
Right. Tell them exactly what you're gonna do, and again, I can put some specs in the.
Yeah.
But like, I'd go spend like 1,000, 1,200 bucks on a camera, a mic, a setup. Nothing like over the top. Like you don't need like a $2,500 DSLR with.
We don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
but I know what you're saying.
The,
You don't need high end. You need good.
you need good. You need good enough.
And you may have more than you anticipate
Your phone.
with your
Your phone shoots in 4K.
Yeah.
The issue I find with phones is like microphone setups is
Right.
I'm sure there's stuff out there. I have yet to find like a mic that's really good that hooks up to your phone. I know it exists. I know there's interfaces like this ties into a hub, and the hub can go to the phone, and you could shoot it on the phone. But at that point,
Yeah.
And I would. So that's what did I say? $1,200.
And
okay?
that's something you can continue to use this all the
and
time.
over and over and
Right.
over and over, and you can spend $1,200 on a camera and some mics, and you can film stuff like this, or just one-on-one, or someone standing there, or like there's so many things you can do with it.
Like, give me some. Those are good examples. That sound like you're right. What are some more examples? Because you're very creative. Like I'm thinking, like how to
videos, like actually shooting like how-to videos of your product using it. Because I've seen so many of these companies do like how-to videos, and it's not that the how-to video is bad, like the actual content itself. It's that they're shooting it on a camera that they're holding in their hand, and they're shaking, and their hands half over the mic, and nobody has a microphone, and they're shooting it at an angle, and then they go into CapCut, and they don't know what they're doing, so then they try to edit it themselves, and then they ask their kid, and their kid's like, let's put cat explosions in here.
I've done all of those.
I know you have. And
like you're looking into my soul.
And it's that like, all right, so you have a good idea. You're like, hey, we got to do this. We don't have a big budget. We don't have all of these things. Like we got to bootstrap this, right? We got to bootstrap this. We're going to do this. We're not going into debt. We're not taking out a short-term loan for a $50K video. Like we got to do this ourselves. That's fine. Do it yourself. Just do it better. So spend the $1,200.
Yeah.
And then the remaining $9,000, go hire editors on Fiverr. Or find someone locally or whatever it is that like you can go. I promise you, like not to get like grassroots, like you go to a community college.
Yeah.
And go to like the AV department and literally put something on the board and it'll go like $50 an hour for editing, and like you can can you imagine a college kid making $50 an hour for editing?
Yeah.
Like that would be that's a dream scenario for them.
Well, so then I like that.
And but you own it. It's your own content. You're making it. You can do how-to videos. You're just going to do how-to videos better. You can do interviews. You can do webinars so that it doesn't look like, again, great. Like I hate grainy webinars with horrible audio. Like that's actually you. I forget the study, but it was like if you saw a webinar but the audio was horrible,
You'll never, yeah.
You don't pay attention to it.
I don't want to listen. It actually
hung
bothers
up.
me.
I hung
I'm
up.
sure,
I hang up. I'll just get off.
Same here.
Um,
So it does mean, it does. It's funny. I have like a Hollywood, a Hollyland, excuse me. And again, not a sponsor. Hollyland mic, lavalier mic that I really like. And they have a little button one now that a friend of mine, Eric Sagowski, used that I cannot believe how good the sound is. These are like $100 and you use them all the time. And they're incredibly helpful. So you're saying spend $1,500, camera, audio, couple of things, and use a bunch of that money then to hire either at the local community college or through Fiverr people who will do this professionally, and it'll look and sound great.
Yeah, and you have to.
So then let me ask you, we started this off by talking about a video that I don't like because it's a nice video from Zimmer Baumet, but I don't think it serves a purpose that a lot of people think it's supposed to, which is drive interest in leads.
Yes.
Right? I think it's just more of a sex appeal video. Oh man, you're so cool. Right? Yes, that's what I think. I'm not gonna shave down the edges of it. But you got the camera, you spent the $1,500, you're comfortable sending stuff to people on Fiverr, right? You now own the content. What content are we shooting? What are we doing? We're interviewing. I'll tell you what I like. I like interviewing customers or potential customers, and I like them complaining and talking, and they don't have to talk about my product, but if they do, that's fine too. But like, I like that. Do you think the people out there like to hear from the
customer testimonials are great. Like, you want to convince someone.
And I have a funny one.
You want to convince someone to buy something. Like, do a customer testimonial. Yeah. Video customer testimonials are great too. You have to like present them in the right way, but they're really good. And most people just are afraid to actually ask someone like, "Hey, can I film you and record you saying something?" And sometimes they're literally not
right.
allowed
And
to.
that is true.
The Health Network, but like, you could do customer testimonials. You could do. If you want to generate like organic, like interesting content, like you can introduce a customer, you can interview a customer and literally never talk about your product at all, but just ask them about like,
right.
Hey, what are some things you experienced? So like you can make organic content with it. You can do video educational series with it. You can shoot your how-to videos with it. You can do all of these things.
And what would you upload those videos to Vimeo or Vimeo? I don't know how you pronounce that, or YouTube. And like, so that people can access them when they want? Like, where would you store that in-house?
No, I would plan campaigns around them. So like, and there's ways that you can host stuff on, I think it's Vimeo.
Yeah, I think it's, I know I do it on Vimeo. So I just didn't know, like, there were maybe better options or.
You could do Vimeo, you could use YouTube. I know there are benefits to having Vimeo. I know there's benefits to having YouTube. They're all the same to me. But I think you can have them out there. You can, a lot of the stuff, unless you're actively trying to grow your YouTube or your Vimeo, like it's just a great place for someone to get there. And then if somebody lands on a video, like, are they going to look at other videos? That's a good idea. But like me, you're promoting, like those are really just warehouses.
Right. And that's how I use that's interesting. Because I was curious what you were going to say about that. Because
they're warehouses, but then you're building them into campaigns, right? So you're building them into a campaign where you're, hey, we're doing a video education series, and every Monday, Mark, the CEO, who is a former neurosurgeon turned entrepreneur, interviews other neurosurgeons across the United States
about neurosurgery and different things and different cases and stuff like that. All right, what would be the point of that? Well, my target audience is neurosurgeons. If I don't suck at what I'm doing as Mark, the CEO, neurosurgeon, I took your name, except your name's Cope. So I'm interviewing people. Now I'm creating my own platform
we're talking about stuff. We're creating, we're doing a video education series. Where is it going to live? Well, I'll probably have it on my website. We'll post it on LinkedIn. You can watch it you can look at it on our website. You can go and do it. You're creating organic content that is not product focused, and it's generating leads. Yes, it's not actively promoting your product, but you're going to be first in mind with your customer, because again, it all ties in together of like building a brand and what is your brand known for.
Yeah. Well, how many times have you listened to a podcast for months and you hear an advertiser on it and you're paying attention, but you don't, and then all of a sudden you're finally like, yeah, you know what? I do need to go get whatever. I've been listening to these guys sponsoring that podcast I listen to all the time. I should check them out.
Mm-hmm.
They're there all the time.
Yeah. Well, and like
it's the same concept.
Yeah, same concept. Right? And like I would almost go like, let's talk healthcare for a second. All of those things, and I'm gonna name a company here, but like all of those things that Becker's does with all of these companies.
Mm-hmm.
And I get why you use Becker's, because Becker's has a much larger reach than maybe, it's more of a channel marketing type of, or channel like it's instant advertising. But like all of those cool things that Becker's does when they interview people, like companies can do that. They just don't know how to do it.
Right. Or they think they automatically have to do it about product, which then restricts them.
And then, or they think like, well, we don't know how to do it, or well, Becker's already does it, so we'll just use Becker's, instead of going like, well, why don't you try building it yourself? Because then it's your own audience.
I got it. I like that.
It's not like some difficult thing of like, oh, you have to come up with something that's super unique and it's super like, yeah, you could, or you could just do what your audience consumes and just do it better or different, or like your CEO who created the product is super ingrained in the emergency room medicine community, and they have a ton of friends who will hop on on a video and do a 15-minute interview and talk. Like, you can do that. You just have to go like, hey,
and
it's hard for companies to think that way, because they watch a product video like the Zimmer one and they go like, yeah, but it looks cool. And I think they're like, in their mind, they're like, I think this is going to draw business to us. And it's not.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
And the content that we're talking about will draw business to you. It's just not going to do it tomorrow. Right. And it's not going to do it in probably a month from now. It's not going to do it in 3 months from now. But I guarantee you, if you have a very charismatic person on your team who...
Yeah, by the way, if you're interviewing, in using your example, 50 neurosurgeons over the next 2 years, guess what you get to know? You now know 50 neurosurgeons.
Yeah.
And they're not all going to use your product. And they're not all going to go, well, I'm done using this and now I shall switch to yours. But it's known. Hopefully you're liked. Now maybe you've built some trust.
And you've also spread out the cost. So like, again, if we're looking at like that $10,000 example, of spending $10,000 on a single video, for that $10,000, you might have been able to create 100 videos. Yeah. So 110,000 divided by, we should do math better. Fine, we'll make it 1,000 videos. It would be like $100.
Right.
$100 a video. So like, right?
10.
Is it?
$10. If you did 1,000, it's 10,000.
No, I'm saying if we did 100, we stuck with that.
Oh yeah.
This is math with Ryan. And if it was like 100 and it was $100, like now your ROI on that video only has to be $100. Your ROI on the entire campaign is the 10,000. Like, we spent 10,000 on this campaign. Right. We have to, overall, but you made 100 videos for it. So it's 100 chances to convert someone to go to your website, to click on a button, to schedule a lead. And it's you're diversifying and increasing your chance. And that's a better way to spend that video budget versus a fire teaser.
Yeah. So the fire teaser, I like that. That's what they should be called, fire teasers.
Pew pew.
Pew 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 pew. So I'm going to throw one at you. You may disagree with me. although I would suggest resistance is futile.
He's big.
The best commercials on TV that sell product are, in my opinion,
Pharma.
the ones, and you've seen them a million times and laughed at them, but the reason they're on all the time is because they work, are the ones where, like, let's say they're selling some sort of pots and pans. Classic example.
Yeah.
And they show in black and white the person cooking and stuff sticking, and they're like, "Dang, nabbit," and they get angry and they want to.
They put a giant red X on it,
and then they go to color, and they're using yours, and it's flipping, and the kids are happy, and the wife's not furious, and I'm telling you right now, those videos work because regardless of what language you speak, you can walk in and it could be in Portuguese, and you go, "Oh yeah, those pants do suck. Oh, that pan looks pretty cool." Like, it's so reptilian brained. It's actually super effective. And I actually think if I were Zimmer Biomet and I was like, I gotta do this video, I shit you not, I would have a black and white of a frustrated surgeon who's going bang, bang, and they're tired and it falls on the floor and their arms sore and they're sitting down and you're like,
I don't think their legal department would ever allow them to do it, but that would be hilarious.
well, they need to get a new legal department.
That would be a hilarious
Because
video.
then you go to the thing and the surgeon's like, ding, 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 whatever the hammer does. I'm telling you right now,
If they did that and they put it on LinkedIn or like YouTube,
people would people would pee themselves.
it would. I don't know if it would generate any leads. It would make me laugh though. It would be like, and they would have to do like the blue screen with the 1-800.
It'd be so awesome. And I'm telling you, that actually would generate leads, and it would drive, because people would be laughing at it, because it's not offensive,
No.
and it would be funny.
Yeah, who's gonna get offended? The mallet community.
Big Mallet is pissed off.
They're in their office.
Link, yeah, some German mallet company is like, wait a minute, they did what? I'm gonna sue them.
Thor would be mad.
Yeah, Thor is angry. Big Thor. I'm telling you, those videos work. And when you sit back and take off your condescension and your smugness and just look at it and go like, those things sell as seen on TV is actually a store and a part of a lot of major retailers, because people see it on TV and go, yeah, you know what? I should be buying those things. Those things, I am sick of that thing. It's very clear. I'm telling you right now, if Zimmer Biomet called me and said, all right, listen, what do you think we should do? I'm like, I'd do this.
Yeah, no,
Because if nothing else, this is my point to that thing.
That video, by the way, would cost $100 to
you
film.
And I could
we could film it, and I could edit it, and it would be done in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, but let me be realistic for a second. Surgeons right now, let's talk orthopedics, even though I get bored, right? We got a minute or two.
Yeah.
These surgeons are being asked to do more cases faster. The caseload is doubling over the next 10 years. It doubled the previous 10 years, right? And they have to do more. And anybody that doesn't think this is a physical, demanding job doesn't know orthopedics. And these guys, by the end of the day, are tired, right? They've been holding a leg, moving a leg. It's work.
I know multiple orthopedic doctors who have retired early because their bodies literally broke down.
Right. And so if you think about it, like if you did that funny video and then at the end said, hey, listen, you know, we're poking a little bit of fun, but we understand what you're going through because this is hard. You know who else would get that? Value analysis committees. Administrators of ASCs are like, do we really need this thing? It's expensive. That's how I would sell that thing. And it would be like, oh, wait a minute. An investment in this might let us do more and not knock our surgeon out when he's 53 years old and he's a total arthroplasty of his shoulder because he's worn himself out or herself out. Like, that actually is compelling marketing with a video. Like, I was thinking about that. Those commercials sell.
Yeah, or
give an alternative.
Look at videos differently. Right. Don't look at videos as like, hey, we're going to blow our entire marketing budget on a single video.
Right. It doesn't need to be a James Cameron produced product video.
Yeah. No. God. No. And like, I would say like making a product video is like, it's important, but can you do a product video more effective? If you're a small med tech company, if you're a startup, can you figure out how to do a product video on your phone or on a camera yourself. And it's like, then can you move to the bigger platforms?
So invest like $1,500 is what you were saying.
And like I know that there are people out there who are going to go like, I can't do everything myself. I'm telling you, like, there are certain things that, like, listen, if you go hire somebody, it's just like you have to generate leads. Your number one thing. I don't care what anyone says. It's not figuring out production like efficiencies. It's not like, yes, all of those things. You cannot survive if you don't sell stuff. So for all of the people who go like, well, I don't have time to do marketing, I don't have time to do sales, I'll be like, I don't know how else you expect to move product, and you die if you don't move product.
Right.
So go spend money on a camera. Go figure out how to make interesting videos. So like, you make the investment worth it.
And I think you gave a great list.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure,
call me.
Call him. He'll help you
for free.
See, that's
service.
You're a good person.
Yes.
You were breaking things earlier, but now you're mending them.
Now I'm mending them.
I'm Cope. He's
I'm Ryan.
And this was Breaking MedTech.
Have fun.